Hi, I'm Sofia Bernardi, mindset and business coach supporting ambitious new and rising coaches to master their mindset, create an aligned and profitable strategy, and grow a six-figure business and beyond using the Rising Coach method. I built a $500,000 business by the age of 24, and in this podcast, I will teach you the psychology, strategy, and energetics to do the same. Let's dive in. Hi, and welcome to Rising Coaches with Sofia Bernardi. I hope you are having a beautiful start or end to your day, depending on where you are in the world and when you are listening to this. In fact, I'm always wondering, where are you right now? Are you in bed? Are you out walking? Are you driving? Are you getting ready for your day? What are you doing when you listen to these episodes? I'm always so curious about that. Personally, I listen to podcast episodes when I'm out walking because I walk for 1 to 2 hours every day. I am obsessed with walking. It's just a beautiful time for me to be really present, to get some sunlight, get some fresh air, step away from the computer. Otherwise, that is where I spend a lot of my time, I would say, during, work within the business. So it's just so nice and refreshing. And I listen to all the podcast episodes because I'm the type of person that I'm not subscribed to many, but the ones that I am subscribed to, I listen to every single episode. So I'm a committed podcaster. I don't dabble in it, but for that reason, I also don't want to be subscribed to too many because I don't want information overload, quality over quantity. That being said, if you do like this podcast and you are not yet subscribed, please do so because that way you are going to see when we drop a new episode every single week. And it's obviously my intention for it to be as quality as possible. I'm here to just drop truth bombs and add a lot of value, to be honest. I really want the podcast to be the place where all of the value is at, outside of my events, of course. I just want to give no tomorrow here and be really real and raw and transparent. And I would say that I absolutely am and will only continue to be more so rather than less, if that makes sense, because it's a huge value of mine and I just want to stand out in the industry where there's not always a lot of transparency and it's, confusing for people listening, feeling they don't have certain results because they're not good enough or whatever, when really quite often just the other side hasn't been shared. So I'm always trying to just be really transparent about, both sides of things because typically there are two sides. That being said, today's episode is going to be about how I make 50K roughly, more or less obviously, each month without using ads or burning myself out. And so speaking on, the integrity around all of this, I want to give a quick transparency disclaimer. Obviously, business is business. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Things will ebb and flow. That's normal. But I would say more often than not, I am making a minimum of $50,000 each month in sales and in Australian dollars. So I'm talking in Australian dollars and I'm talking new sales. So I'm not even counting the reoccurring payment plans that are coming through from cash. I'm talking about new money every month. It'd be roughly 50,000 Australian dollars. Sometimes it's significantly more than that, but I wanted to I'd rather say less, and that is where it's usually at. So you've got an idea. So yeah, Australian dollars, new sales each month, not cash, and not previous payment plans and things like that. So, and I'm currently not using ads and I definitely don't feel burnt out. I love my business. I love the freedom. I love the flow. I love the simplicity and I love the scalability of it because the new sales coming in doesn't necessarily take away time from my life because everything I do is in group containers, which is really cool. So I just honestly wanted to share this because it's not really just about the money that comes in. It's about what that money provides, and the way that I'm doing it feels super congruent and easeful, and I want that to be possible for everyone. It is possible for everyone if you do the work. If you do these 3 things that I'm going to be sharing today, actually, then it's possible. So yeah, let's dive on in. These are 3 things that truthfully just came to mind to me as the 3 biggest needle movers that have made the biggest difference in being able to create this. So number 1 is I run online events. And so the reason why this supports me to make, large sums of money each month without ads and without burning myself out is because events are scalable in the sense that you are helping many people at one time. So for example, if you run a free masterclass, a free 60-minute masterclass, right? And you are promoting it for a couple of weeks, and let's say you bring in 100 people, rather than me having 100 conversations or 100 sales calls or having, like one touch point at a time to 100 people. Instead, I'm delivering absolutely amazing value in one event to 100 people at once, right? So it's fast, it's efficient, and it's scalable because it's one-to-many time. And it doesn't require like a huge, large team, whereas like sales calls, eventually you need people taking the sales calls for you or with you or alongside you. And same with like DM approaches. Like if you want it to be super, super scalable, it requires a large team, whereas an event, it can be just you, which is really, really cool if you don't decide to have a huge team and you want a process that works at every stage in business, of course. So I run online events, and that has been the biggest thing that has supported me. Obviously, there are plenty of people that run events though and don't make money, and it's because they don't have the full process. They're not going all in on it. And I teach the full process in my programs, because when you master the art of running online events, it is a complete game changer. But there is obviously a few things to it to get it to work. But in a nutshell, events allows me to attract, nurture, and convert clients all in one. So like the event itself is very captivating for your target audience, so that attracts people to come to you. It nurtures them really quickly because you're adding so much value in a short period of time at the event, and then it converts them if you share an offer at the end of that event. So that's why it does all 3 in one, which makes it scalable, and that's where all of my money is, or all of the sales is coming from each time I run an event, essentially. So that's why it supports me to make 50K minimum. And the reason why it doesn't burn me out is because I have a system that I follow, and it feels good and it's fun, and I've mastered it through consistency. So yeah, for those reasons, that is definitely a huge contributor to the amount of money I make and the consistency of it as well, because I'm following a strategy that does everything in one. So it's super simple, and therefore it's sustainable and scalable. So yeah, number 1, I run online events. Number 2, I prioritize relationship building. And this goes with my clients, with my audience, with my coach, with my community, my team, and with myself, right? So I prioritize relationship building across the board, because if you think about it, sales comes from people, and so you should prioritize the root cause, which is the people. Like obviously there's so many touch points in business that are important. Like content is important, marketing's important, branding's important, messaging's important, like all of that sort of stuff's important. But what I find to be like the most important is like building relationships with human beings, and some of those things that I just mentioned helps to do that. And then it becomes a priority. But at the core of it, I don't want to just do stuff to do stuff. I want to do stuff to build relationships with people, because that's the most rewarding thing when you're providing a service to human beings, and more importantly, they feel happy and they get results, right? And so I prioritize that. So with my clients, this looks like helping them at such a deep level, really being there every step of the way for them, and playing my 100% part in that. With my audience, it looks like giving very generously, like right now in the podcast, right? This is me prioritizing you right now. Like I don't need to do this. I want to do this. I want to give in a deeper level that's really consumable and easy, because you can listen to podcasts anywhere at any time. So I just think it's really, really helpful, especially with people that need to multitask, right? I wanted to jump in here quickly to give you a personal invitation to an upcoming free masterclass of mine that is going to blow your mind. Introducing Unlock the Mindset That Moves You to Multiple Six Figures. In this exclusive free masterclass, I'll share 3 key secrets. One that completely changed how I think about my business and created a huge up level. One that moved me from feeling stuck to creating multiple 6 figures quickly, and one that made business fun, sustainable, and easy. You can sign up now for free with the link in the show notes to get a confirmation email with all of the details you need. There will be a replay available for a very short time, and it's happening on the 25th of October. So head to the link in the show notes, sign up now, and I cannot wait to see you there. Right? With my coach, I'm in communication with my coach, I would say, most days of the week between Monday and Friday, because being, in a mastermind container or having a coach is just a game changer. Like being in you're paying for obviously so many things, like a result, a skill set, support, accountability, all of the things. But really, like, one of the bigger things that I'm paying for at this point is not necessarily to learn more, but to have someone there for me when I need them, like in the good times and in the bad times, and also to be in that person's energy. So my coach is where I want to be, and I really look up to my coach and admire my coach. And so by spending more time with her, I am going to naturally adopt certain qualities, mannerisms, perspectives, skill sets due to just the presence. And that's one of the biggest powers of having a coach. And that's what my clients get from spending time with me, which is why I encourage them to lean in, like ask me questions, show up, be in the energy, because that makes such a big difference. So that's something that I prioritize. I also prioritize, the relationship with my community, which I suppose is my audience, but just, community building, should I say. And then I also prioritize the relationship with my team, like effective, clear, positive, supportive communication with my team is key. And then most importantly, with myself, right? It's so important and often not looked at, right? So that's that. I go straight to the cause, to what matters most, and all of my tasks and actions from there, like, really stems from that. Like, even events is really just something I do to prioritize relationship building, because it allows me to serve and connect with my audience at the deepest possible level in the fastest possible way. Hopefully that's making sense. So number one is I run online events, and number two is I prioritize relationship building. And that just allows me to not do anything unnecessary, which is why I don't burn out from it, and it feels good, and I don't need ads for that. Again, nothing wrong with ads, by the way. I just personally don't use it, and I want that to be evidence for you that, dependent on your starting point, like, you don't need ads or other things. Like, you don't need a large team. You don't need to be on every platform. You don't need to be doing everything or burning yourself out to make, millions of dollars, right? Or hundreds of thousands of dollars. Or tens of thousands of dollars. Cool. And then number three is I have a really great work ethic. And this is something that I'm starting to acknowledge more and more. You know how everyone's got like their own personality traits that it's very easy to just be like, oh, that surely everyone's like that, or this just comes so naturally to me. But more and more, I am realizing that this is not something that everyone has, or even attempts to create, because I believe it's a skill set that people can create if they decide to and commit to, and leave all excuses at the door, and take radical self-responsibility. But I definitely do agree that it maybe comes more naturally to some than others, due to various factors like your drive, desperation, whatever. But I've just realized this because a lot of people comment on this quality of mine. Like, even my accountant, who I freaking love to bits. If you are based in Australia and you need an accountant, let me know. I'll hit you up because she's amazing. Her name's Diana, and she voice messaged me today, and she was like, I just want to let you know, Sofia, that you have the best work ethic and ability to focus. And I see so many coaches, because obviously, like, she's an accountant for service-based businesses primarily. And she's like, I see so many coaches and entrepreneurs with what I do, and there are not many people that have the work ethic and focus and, ability to get a lot done in such a short time than you do. And she was just like, she sent me 3 voice messages of just like compliment overloads. That's just the type of person she is. She is an absolute angel. She actually she flew to Brisbane a couple of weeks ago and spent the day with me, and she took me out to the nicest restaurant in Brisbane. We had so much fun and drank cocktails, and we came back to my house and we just hung out on the couch together, talking, had the best conversations. What a side note. And then we ordered takeaway, we went out for coffee, we did all these things. We had so much fun, and it was the best. She bought me a bracelet, like I don't know how to say this, like Swarovski, I don't know how to say it. It's like that jewelry brand. That's a really nice one. And it's like, I'm usually wearing it. I took it off yesterday because I went to, I needed to take it off for something. But it's this beautiful diamond bracelet and I'm obsessed, and she bought one for herself and it's matching. So we have matching friendship bracelets, but like bougie ones, and she's just so nice. And she bought me a beautiful pen as well. I'm like, oh my goodness, she's just an angel. So I don't even know. Oh yeah. I was like, why did I bring that up? But it's because she sent me a voice message today complimenting me on my work ethic. And it was just that constant reminder again and again, because I've had a few people say this recently, and my partner was in the car as I was listening to this voice message. He was like, yeah, you really do. That's like something that you're very good at. I'm like, oh, maybe I am really good at this. So I wanted to share this today, that work ethic has absolutely supported me because I'm consistent and I'm focused and I have a growth mindset and I'm driven by something so much bigger than me, and I'm strategic. Like, I think all of those things come under a work ethic. So consistency, like I'm not just sometimes focused or like more often than not, I am consistent in everything that I do. Like, integrity is so important to me. So I'm not even just talking about business. Like, I'm talking everything. Like, I'm very consistent with what I say I'm going to do. Like, I've got my routines in place and I stick to them due to discipline and work ethic. I'm really focused, so I don't like doing things that are unnecessary. So call me lazy, but I just think it's smart. I just focus on what actually matters and I disregard all of the rest. I have a really strong mindset, like a growth orientated mindset, which I think really, really supports me. And then I'm just driven by so many things. It's actually not about me. Like, I get more excited when my clients succeed and thrive than when I do, to be honest. Like, them thriving is like that's what makes me thrive, kind of thing. Like, it goes hand in hand. And because I'm really strategic about what I do, why I do it, and how I do it, that creates a great work ethic. So I would say that definitely supports me to make 50K each month, because whilst it sounds so easy, me being like, oh yeah, I make 50K a month, like I'm so happy, I don't burn out, like life's great, amazing, which like all is true, but only because I do the work and I show up. Like, and sure, different stages will look differently. Like, I would say I worked quote unquote harder in the beginning than I do now, but really it's just packaged differently now because of the hard work, and because now it's not hard because I've done it for so long that it's normal and it feels easier. Do you know what I mean? So it's probably not easier, I'm just better, right? And I'm only better through the work ethic and the consistency. I know this is like probably confusing, but I hope it's making sense, that like it all entangles itself and it comes together. So it's like 50K months don't burn me out, and it's super easy because of what I do and how I do it, right? And so these are all skill sets that you can adopt. And that was really important for me to share. Like, I haven't said anything that isn't possible for anyone here listening. So you can run online events, you can prioritize relationship building, and you can create a great work ethic, knowing that there's no one right way. You just have to find a way that works for you and your personality and all of the things. And this has personally supported me. I hope that makes sense. Oh my God. I always do things like this. I just go on tangents, and then I go on another tangent, and then another one and another one. And I'm like, how did I get here? So I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's essentially the three things that I would say. Of course, there's going to be other things that play into that, but I wanted to think big picture that really made a difference. And I would say it's these three things. I run online events that's super sustainable and scalable with the right process. I prioritize relationship building because that is the most important thing, and that is the root of where sales come from and where joy is going to come from. And really what being a coach is, it's about providing a service to people, and then having a great work ethic, because you've got to work and put in the time, the resources, the money, the effort, the care factor in order to create something extraordinary. If you want different, you've got to move different. And it's a really small percentage willing to do that. But I know that if you're listening to this, you are a go-getter, you're ambitious, you care, you want to do big things. Otherwise, you would not be listening to this episode right now, like hands down. You would have lost interest a long time ago. So this is possible for you. it's actually just a decision. Decide on one strategy, decide on what you're focused on, and decide to put in the work to create it, knowing that that's how you do it. I hope that this episode has served you in one way or another, but this is how I personally make a minimum of $50,000 each month without using ads or burning myself out. I hope this has served you. I love you. Let me know what point resonated with you most. Come chat to me on Instagram at Sofia Rose Bernardi. Share it on your stories. It makes the biggest difference in the world for us if you share it and tag me so I can share it back and send you some love. We just really appreciate it when you share it, as that's how this podcast grows. And check out the show notes for any free resources that can support you in one way or another, as I just really want to serve and support you, and can't wait to see you next week. Bye. Although I can't see each one of you, I know you're there because of the downloads we see each week, and I appreciate your presence immensely. If something in this episode resonated with you, I'd be thrilled to hear about it. Connect with me on Instagram at Sofia Rose Bernardi. Share your key takeaways or simply say hello. Your thoughts mean the world to me. Remember, it's your feedback that keeps this show going. Until next time, take care.